Hey guys! Welcome to Couple. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. Allied missiles struck at the heart of Syrian chemical weapons arsenal in a show of force and resolve aimed at punishing the Assad government for a suspected poison gas attack against civilians and deterring the possible future use of such banned weapons. A perfectly executed strike, President Donald Trump tweeted Saturday in the aftermath of his second decision in 2 years to fire missiles against Syria. Could not have had a better result. Mission accomplished. His choice of words recalled a similar claim associated with President George W. Bush following the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq. Bush addressed sailors aboard a ship in May 2003 alongside a mission accomplished banner, just weeks before it became apparent that Iraqis had organized an insurgency that tied down U.S. forces for years. Syria's chief allies, Russia and Iran, called the use of force by the United States, Britain, and France a military crime and act of aggression with the potential to worsen a humanitarian crisis after years of civil war. The UN Security Council planned to meet later Saturday at Moscow's request. Good souls will not be humiliated, Syrian President Bashar Assad tweeted, while hundreds of Syrians gathered in Damascus, the capital, where they flashed victory signs and waved flags in scenes of defiance after the one-hour barrage launched Friday evening, early Saturday in Syria. Before a planned Pentagon briefing Saturday, officials said Air Force B-1B strategic bombers launched JAS standoff missiles for the first time in combat, evading Syrian air defenses. In all, the Navy launched a little more than 100 Tomahawk cruise missiles from destroyers in the Mediterranean Sea. The officials, who provided details on condition of anonymity ahead of public announcements, said Syria's air defenses were ineffective. A global chemical warfare watchdog group said its fact-finding mission would go as planned in Douma, where the apparent use of poison gas against civilians on April 7 that killed more than 40 people compelled the Western allies to launch their attack. Syria has denied the accusation. But France's foreign minister said there was no doubt the Assad government was responsible, and he threatened further retaliatory strikes if chemical weapons were used again, as did Pentagon Chief Jim Mattis, who said the assault was a one-time shot, as long as chemical weapons weren't used again. NATO representatives planned a special session to hear from U.S., British and French officials. Pentagon officials said the attacks, carried out by manned aircraft and from ships that launched cruise missiles from the Mediterranean Sea, targeted the heart of Assad's programs to develop and produce chemical weapons. Russia's military said Syrian air defense units downed 71 out of 103 cruise missiles fired by the Allies. Mattis said Friday there were no reports of U.S. losses in what he described as a heavy but carefully limited assault. Trump said the U.S. was prepared to sustain economic, diplomatic, and military pressure on Assad until he ends what Trump called a criminal pattern of killing his own people with internationally banned chemical weapons. That did not mean military strikes would continue. In fact, General Joseph Dunford, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said no additional attacks were currently planned. Russian leader Vladimir Putin reaffirmed the Kremlin's skepticism about the Allies' Douma claim, saying Russian military experts had found no trace of the attack. He criticized the U.S. and its allies for launching the strike without waiting for international inspectors to visit the area. But British Prime Minister Theresa May cited reports she said indicated the Syrian government used a barrel bomb, large containers packed with fuel, explosives, and scraps of metal to deliver the chemicals. No other group could have carried out that attack, she said, adding that the Allies' use of force was right and legal. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said the West's response was necessary and appropriate. Mattis disclosed that the U.S. had not yet confirmed that the Douma attack, the most recent suspected Syrian chemical weapons attack, on April 7, included the use of sarin gas. He said at least one chemical was used, chlorine, which also has legitimate industrial uses and had not previously triggered a U.S. military response. He said the targets selected by U.S., British and French officials were meant to minimize civilian casualties. This is difficult to do in a situation like this, he said, in light of the volatility of chemical agents. Defense officials from the countries involved in the attack gave differing accounts of how much warning was given to the Russians, Syria's powerful ally.